Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on today's episode, we got to get into it. Kentucky basketball is back. This is a very pivotal season for Kentucky basketball program. It's the first year of Mark Pope's tenure at Kentucky. Everybody's excited. I'm excited. And I didn't know what to expect right off the bat. We all know Kentucky is ranked kind of low. I think they ranked 23rd overall. But the fans, and myself included, we've been very excited. We have high hopes for this team. We felt like Mark Pope's offense was going to be exciting. And, man, they did not disappoint tonight. Kentucky Wesleyan, we beat them by 71 points. Let me say that again, 71 points. Final score, 123 Kentucky, 52 Kentucky Wesleyan. And to be honest with you, I was completely shocked that they did that. I did think they would win. I thought they would probably win by 20. But I definitely didn't think they was going to just put their foot on the gas and just drive it all the way home. But I'm actually excited that they did that. And when the game first started, initially, I felt like they was playing a little sloppy on both ends of the court. And I was a little worried. I was thinking that maybe the moment was just getting them. You know, even though this is not a regular season game, this is the first official time that they're playing a different opponent in Rupp Arena. So there's a little bit of pressure. I'm sure they're aware of what this season is going to mean for this program. They heard everything. They know Kentucky fans is upset about Calipari, and they want to make their mark. They want to, do something special. So I was afraid that they was going to lay an egg the first game, end up winning by 20, but look bad. In the first couple of minutes, they did look a little sloppy. Like I said, they looked bad on both sides of the ball, but then they got rolling and they handled business. So let's get into some of these highlights and we can check it out for ourselves. But yeah, I was really impressed, man, to be honest. Amari Williams right here. One of the things I like about Amari is you can just run the offense through Amari. He's a really good passer, in my opinion, for a big. He has good court vision. He can score a little bit around the bucket, but he's just like plays like that, he's gonna get the ball out. And in transition, Kentucky played really well. I think they had 30-something points, 30-something fast break points, if I remember correctly. But I just like that they spread the ball around. A whole bunch of guys was getting involved. I mean, everybody was chipping in a little bit here and there. We had a couple of guys that, I think Amari Williams had 15, Jackson Robinson had 18, and Ortega might have had 18 or 19. So we had a couple of guys that, did some big numbers. But everybody else, we had guys like Lamont who had just a strong, steady game. I think he had 11 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds, just a dog all over the court. But I was just I was really shocked that they had, I think they ended up with 32 assists and only 5 turnovers. And that's kind of what I was hoping for when I got to finally see a team with some veteran guys on there. Just smart basketball plays. They kind of already have an idea of what they can do on the court. They kind of sure themselves. So the learning process is more going to be of them just learning the system and getting used to playing with each other versus actually learning how to play college basketball, which is what, we've experienced a lot over the last decade and some change, is we had to wait for guys to figure out the game on this level. But, these guys, while they may not have all played in big power conferences, they've all played, a decent amount of college basketball. They got a lot of experience under their belt, so they know what to expect when they get on the court. They've been in some big moments. They've played in some tournament games. So a lot of these guys are already confident in what they can do to a certain degree. And I think that takes a lot of pressure off of the younger ones. But Yeah, and like Ansley Almanor, like he played great off the bench. I think he had 15 as well. But that's one of the keys right there. Lamont and Williams. Williams is gonna be crazy good in the pick and roll. I think he's gonna get a lot of baskets because, like I said, he just makes himself available. He he's a real team player, like a real general. I feel like because he can just do so many things. Like right here, he's running the offense. He's throwing alley oops to Ortega. So it's like, when we got Butler on the court, he's the point guard, but then you also going to have Williams who you can run some offense through. So those two guys, I think, probably are going to lead the team in assists. But then you just got everybody that's just contributing a little bit here and there. Like I said, one of the things that I like about some of these guys like Butler and Ortega, they just physical dudes. So I know that they're going to have the strength to compete, mostly anybody they come up against this whole entire season. And one thing Kentucky did good tonight was they turned their defense into a lot of instant offense. Another thing I was just impressed overall, the guys coming off the bench, like I think they had 53 bench points. So you got a lot of guys that was just contributing. And it never really felt like when they went to the bench that these guys weren't producing something. Like I just felt like the talent level, the production level never really dropped off when certain guys went out of the game and other guys came in. And we didn't even have Kerr Kriisa tonight. I think he was having some hamstring injuries or some issues, with his hamstring, I'd say. So he didn't even play, but everybody else played, and they did well. Travis Perry came off the bench, looked good. He looked confident. Looked like he's going to eventually be one of the best shooters in college. But what shocked me the most probably was Trent Noah. He really didn't play much until the end of the game. And then when he came in the game, he just started going crazy. I think he ended up, I think he might have scored like 12 points or something like that. But he only did it in I think it was he might have played might have been 8 minutes. So he just came out there and just started going to work. But I like Noah. Like I said, Noah's got some good size. But I think eventually them boys are gonna be some good players. Talking about him, Noah and Perry, and once they get more confident, I think they're gonna be some good contributors off the bench, and they're going to get a chance to learn without having the pressure. Like I said, they're going to be out there with a lot of veterans, so the veterans are going to be the ones that's going to be taking the lead, and they can just feed off of them. Even Chandler, I know Chandler's a little bit older because he graduated a couple years back, but he still is new to college basketball. But he looked good. He didn't really score a whole lot tonight. I think he only ended up with 6 points or something like that, but he just looked good out there. So overall, I was extremely pleased with what I saw. Now, don't get it twisted. I know it's just Kentucky Wesleyan, so I don't want to jump out the window and crown them champions. I've learned my lesson with that. All right, last year I'll even say the year before, when we had Oscar Tshiebwe and Toppin and all those guys, I thought they looked so good in the Bahamas that I was ready to crown them. I'm not going to lie to you. And then I got a rude awakening. And then I said, well, all right, when Rob Dillingham and Reed come in, I think we're going to have a chance. And I tried to keep myself from jumping off the ledge, but I went on and jumped. And I got disappointed again. So this year, I'm not going to, I'm going to fall back. I'm going to just let these boys play. We rank 23rd right now. I feel like that's cool because if they're good, they're going to rise to the top eventually. So I like that they kind of coming in under the radar, no pressure. Nobody really expects much. A lot of people think they're going to be garbage. A lot of the haters, not Kentucky fans, but other fans think they're going to be terrible. But I actually was impressed. And the thing is, I believe that they still have room to grow, because even though a lot of them are veterans, a lot of them are comfortable playing college basketball, only realistically probably Jackson Robinson pretty much knows what he's doing at this point, because he's played in the system already. So the rest of them, they still trying to figure the system out. They trying to figure out their roles. They trying to get used to playing with each other. So they still got a lot of room to get better. They got a lot of upside, if you ask me. And I think they played a really good defense tonight, but I think they can get even better defensively. So I think this team could be scary if they put it together. Like I said, I like what I'm seeing, because I just feel like, I'll say this. I feel like over the last several seasons, college basketball, maybe because of, the COVID situation that happened and gave a lot of players some extra eligibility, you just kind of seen basketball transition more to like a man's game. And I think that was where it was kind of hurting Kentucky over the last couple of years. Kentucky was always young. They always relied on a whole bunch of freshmen. But this year we're going to have some guys with some age, some experience, some physical development. And I think, over the last couple of seasons, like UConn has showed us that, you can go get a bunch of experienced guys and you can win the championship. Like, build you a team of guys that are just ready to play basketball today, and the learning curve is minimal. So I definitely like what I'm seeing. I feel like this Mark Pope era could be an exciting era. I'm ready for it. Like I said, I like the offense. I knew they was going to put the ball up, but I was really shocked that they ended up shooting, I think, 65% altogether as a team and 50% from three. So if we continue to do that, somewhere close to that, I think we're going to have a shot to beat a lot of teams. Kentucky just seems like they're going to have a lot of weapons. I feel like tonight's box score is going to be kind of indicative of how things are going to go. I feel like you're going to have a whole lot of games where there's a lot of guys that's going to give you 6 here, 8 here, 12 here, and then you might have a couple of guys that give you 15 or more, just depending on how things are going. But I like that. I feel like it's a very balanced team. I feel like when I was watching them play, I never really thought one guy was trying to get numbers. I didn't feel like they was trying to force the ball to anybody specifically. I felt like anybody that was out there on the court, they was all looking to contribute, and people was being unselfish. Like I said, I think 32 assists, only 5 turnovers. So that's always going to be a recipe for success when you're moving the ball like that and you're not turning it over. But like I said, we got to be realistic. The SEC is a whole different ball game. The competition is going to go up. SEC may be the best conference in basketball, but if not, it's definitely it's probably at least top 3 at the lowest. So when they get in the SEC, they're going to have a lot of battles. They're going to have a lot of teams that, we always run into those teams like Tennessee that just got a whole bunch of, big dudes that's rough, bangers. We're going to probably still have, some teams like Arkansas that just got a lot of young guys, but they talented. We're going to have to watch out for the teams like Alabama, Auburn. So it's a lot of teams in the SEC that's going to probably be able to give us trouble. But I feel confident that if we continue to get better on both ends of the ball, I feel like we're going to be able to compete with anybody that we run across. I'm anxious to see how this Duke game is going to go, because I feel like I'm not really that familiar with Duke's offense, but I know they're going to be relying on a couple of young dudes. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, let me know how you feel about this first exhibition game. I know, like I said, I know the competition is not up to par. But I'm still excited. So you guys let me know, what did you think about tonight's performance? Was you impressed with it? Are you not putting much stock into it until we start playing some top level competition? Are you excited for this offense? I'm excited. I know we're not going to probably score 123 points every night, but I feel like we're going to have a chance to do at least 90 something. And, obviously we're not going to win by 71 points, but I'm loving it so far. So you let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.